Yes, I was. So go ahead and ask me my introductory questions so this way I can answer them appropriately.
Yeah. Unless you already know the routine, if you just want to tell us.
Okay, well, my name is Melissa Rechiga. I'm born and raised Los Angeles. My family's been here for over 100 years in Los Angeles, but I as well identify as Indigenous. So a few things I want to talk about.
Can I ask you a quick question? Quick question?
Sure, no problem. That's why I had asked you to give me the questions or whatever you wanted from me.
No. When you said that, then it just spurred another question. So the other guy said, no. It's okay. The other guy said Indigenous too, and I just educate. Hold on. There are Black people that call themselves Indigenous because a lot of us were here before slavery, and a lot of people don't know that history. So when you say Indigenous, you're Indigenous Mayan, you're Indigenous what? Aboriginal, Indigenous American Indian, and what?
Native Indigenous to the land, the people that were here. When they waved Columbus, when we walked upon our shores, the Indigenous people.
Okay, don't argue. Go ahead. Let her speak.
Okay, so the first thing I would like
Someone's
is
mic
about,
Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No worries. The first thing for me as a brown woman, an Indigenous woman of this land and continent, I don't think I was bothered by the fact that Tiger used the word ay caramba, because I think it's really like that. Nobody talks like that from the brown community. We don't use that kind of terminology.
Exactly.
Right, but I think what the issue is that the sexualizing of brown women and comparing us to like hot sauce is like degrading.
What did you say? Comparing you to there's something. Is it me or is her audio got some type of noise?
No, that's our man. He has his mic hot. He had his mic hot the whole time. I think he's asleep or buy some cars or something.
Which one so I can close his mic so I can see him and close his mic.
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
He falling asleep.
Okay, go ahead. I'm so sorry, Melissa. I know you keep trying to speak and then it's something else. Go on.
So I think it's the over sexualizing us as brown women that we're always like, again, I don't use that term Latina, spicy Latinas and this and that. We're not that, okay? We have respect, we have dignity for ourselves, and you know what? Our community is based on a matriarchal system where the women are the leaders. So for us to be put like that, like again, like some of the stuff you were saying too, like I've never thought like only Black women are twerking and all this and that. That's not true. I know many intelligent Black women, strong sisters, okay? So I don't necessarily hold those truths or that narrative about the Black community. So like, and I know that I'm kind of going a little bit off topic because at first I was talking about Tiger and now I'm talking about some of the comments that I heard you say earlier.
Well,
so
what can we do this? Because you got plenty of time. So go back to Tiger. Just try to keep it linear so we can have a really good dialogue. And please allow me and other people to ask you questions.
Sure.
Okay.
So back to what we're saying. I've never heard that kind of language in my household ever. Ay caramba. I mean, I think that's like funny. Like that's weird. But okay, I mean, I guess it is part of the language, the vernacular. But I've never, again, heard that used in my family, in my household directly, or let alone around people around me, or even in my community. That was funny, whoever made that reference about that the Simpsons did it. I guess I never made that connection, but I don't know, it's just weird. It's funny. But it's more of the imagery that was displayed in the video that was offensive.
In Tiger's video?
Yes.
Okay.
That was, for me, that was what was concerning and alarming. Again, bringing breakfast burritos, hot sauce, kind of filling those negative stereotypes. Being overweight, obesity is something, and diabetes is something that runs high in both the Black and brown community. That's just the truth. That's not just one way. It's in both of our communities because we lack food options. Our communities are usually food deserts, and there's nothing but fast food for our children and our families and our communities. So,
May I make a request? May I make a request? Honestly, I appreciate everything you're saying, and I see that you're very well versed on issues that, plague, Black American freedmen, Indigenous people, Latinos, and elsewhere. But can we kind of hone in more on the issues which are the Gill, American Cholo disrespect, the perceived disrespect from our community, Power 106. Like, let's kind of really narrow in on that so everyone gets a chance to speak.
Okay. All right. So, that was my issue with the tiger video. It was more the imagery than the actual word caramba. I don't know. I can't speak for the whole community. That was just me as myself as an individual. So now the other issue is some of the problems that I had. Again, we can go on American Cholo, but right now I want to address some of the things too that you said in the video that I seen when you did go to Power 106. You're saying that undocumented people, which would actually be the indigenous people of this continent, because we never crossed the border crossed us, that they can apply for EBT and benefits, which is not truth. That is false. So I think that that's not fair for you to kind of repeat. But for us, we see that as white supremacy kind of language, like Proud Boys tell us that kind of stuff, and other Republicans, and they repeat these false narratives. So I think that's very dangerous. I didn't appreciate how even though Gil was using or talking in third person or relaying a story, I still thought it was inappropriate for him to use the word with the ER. It wasn't necessary. There was another way to convey that message. But Gil, I think, also I think you guys would probably be more closer and friends since you guys share a lot of, I feel like, very strong Republican views. Even though he is a brown person, but he is from Honduras. He's not a Mexican. That I think maybe you guys are not aware of. And
that's what makes it so funny.
I see a lot of interchanging, like Latino, because for us too, as brown indigenous people, native people from this land, when you say Latino to us means white people, because it's just a code word. It's to cover. It has nothing to do with actual brown people from here, from the land.
But we can't litigate that, so let's really stick to the topics.
Okay, so again, so a lot of the stuff that's being said is not okay. It's unacceptable. It's inappropriate. And like you said, you're not from here. You're not well versed in understanding the dynamics between brown and black communities, the gang community.
I never said, hold up. I didn't say I'm not well versed. I said I don't know about gang culture.
Okay. Well versed again. Culture.
Okay, I'll give you one more minute so I can address you and other people. Okay? So make sure you hit your points.
I think what you're spewing is not correct. It's a false narrative, and you're spewing a lot of hidden white supremacy behind the black face, and that's not okay. Just like reparations, I believe black people deserve reparations, but the land is indigenous, and it must remain with the indigenous people of the land, which would be the Quiche Nation. Okay, so I think that, again, you guys have to be real careful with what you guys say, too, and trying to erase indigenous natives from this land. That's not okay, and it's unacceptable. We have the same oppressor, which is the white man, the colonizer. And so, therefore, to act like that doesn't exist is wrong. And to rip each other apart is for what? When those jails are full of black and brown men. So again, I think you too should be careful of the things that you say. I'm not validating or saying co-signing for American Cholo. I'm not co-signing for you. Equally, there has to be respect on both sides of the lines when we speak and talk about each other. And if we don't have anything good to say about each other, then maybe we shouldn't be saying anything.